Hey, what's up everybody? This is PokeStripVegas. We're going to do a PSA 50 slab reveal. We got this last week, first week of June, and always record your PSA openings. So here's the box. Everything looks, I know there's been some issues in other parts of the country and whatnot regarding, you know, missing slabs, but I heard of a case about Hawaii, how things were going on out there, so I was like, ooh, you know, not to bash on the carriers on Hawaii, but I always record it anyway. So enjoy the video. Everything looks good. Looks like it's been one-time sealed there at PSA. This box here, real quick, just to let you know, this came in from the folks at PSA from California. This was not shipped from New Jersey, so I'm pretty happy about that. Thank you, PSA, for keeping my cards on the West Coast and not shipping them out to the East Coast. Those graders do tend to be more strict. So I'm glad that is not the case here. So not saying that the PSA graders over in California are, you know, more lenient or anything. No, I seem to get reasonable and fair grades from the folks on the West Coast versus East Coast. But anyways, let's get into this. Let's see what we got here. Sorry about the noise, guys. I will say this, PSA packaging is second to none. So there's nothing that shifts in these boxes. All right, so here we go. I hope the view looks good from there. I'm trying to get the best lighting for you guys. I think this one will probably work best right there for you. So I apologize in advance. Alrighty, here we go. Looks nice and sealed. Doesn't look like it's been messed with or tampered with, kind of deal. All right, let's get into it. All right, there you go, 50 slabs. So a little bit about when I do slab reveals, I do not cover the grade. I like to dig into these cards and show you the grades, kind of deal. Boy, these are really in there. Let's see. All right. So I'm going to go straight into the reveal. Like I said, I don't cover the grades or anything like that. We get right to it, you know. All right, our little tower. These are all cards that are for sale that we do in shows, whatnot, and on live on whatnot as well. So you can see the little tower there. And all right, let's get to it. All right, I'll put those back there. And all right, thank you, PSA, for getting my cards back to me safely. All right, first card. As you can tell, this is starting with the triple ones already. So I sent these cards back in March, and I just got them last week, so I know they're backed up. It's June, second week of June 2025 now. All right, here we go. No! All right, first card. All right, Deoxys VMAX Crown Zenith in a 10. Very nice. I'm going to separate 10s, 9s, and 8s. I will say this as we're getting into the slabs. Some of my cards definitely should have been 10s. I sent a lot of clean cards. Here we go, Mewtwo V-Star Crown Zenith, second biggest card now. It has passed the Arceus. PSA 10, pretty happy about that. And let's see, like this one right here, PSA 8. Oh, promo tag team, power collection. This is a big card in a 10. A little whiting up there. That whiting was not there when I sent it in. Oh my God, I sent them a very clean copy. All right, that's an 8. That whiting was not there. I wouldn't have sent it in. All right, here we go. Mewtwo V-Star Crown Zenith PSA 10. Very nice. Very nice. Enjoying it. All right, next up, sent in several of these. PSA 10 contenders. And yeah, you know, right off the bat, I'm not, look, you'll see the white. I will say this, I am not sending in anything with white specs like that are PSA 10 contenders. I'm making a video about this. This is not what I was sending in. Don't know how this came back an 8, because I am not sending in white specs or anything like that. All right, we got a IR illustration rare Squirtle, PSA 9.
Oh no.
Very clean. See another white speck down there. I will say this, PSA handlers, please, please. If somebody is mishandling these cards, I am not sending them in with white specks. Another white speck down there. I'm not. I can tell you right off the bat. And Tatsugiri with a PSA 9. Erica's Invitation in an 8.
What is going on in here?
Every corner, good gracious, every corner has white specks. Every corner has a white speck. I didn't send in my cards with white specks. PSA, I'm gonna call you out. I did not send my cards like this. I didn't, and it's very frustrating because I was wondering why I was getting 8s. PSA 9, Silver Ledge, IR, white speck down there, consistently. Oh my gosh. You know, when they take them out of the, I guess when they're taking them out, they cut it, you know, that semi-rigid. If that's the case, they are just getting mishandled. This is a 9 Slowpoke illustration rare. All right, we're just gonna go through them. I'm not happy seeing the whiting on my cards. This was a 10 potential. Look at that, whiting, big time whiting, big time whiting, whiting. I didn't send in these cards this way. Somebody needs to do better in training how they take out the cards from the semi-rigid. I guarantee this has whiting when I didn't send it in that way. Wow, this has no whiting. Huh? But got an 8? Sorry if I'm becoming a downer right now. This is the first time I'm seeing these cards and it's just frustrating. PSA 10 Chansey illustration rare. Here we go. Twilight Masquerade. I mean, don't get me wrong, my 10s are clean, but I sent nothing but clean cards. I pulled this card straight from the pack, semi-rigid, to send in, and it was super clean. I got whiting, I got whiting, I got whiting in that corner. PSA, what's going on? I'm calling you out now. PSA, what's going on? This was packed fresh. I pulled it packed fresh with no whiting, and you're killing me. Who's handling these cards? Because they're screwing them up. Illustration rare Riolu. Now I sent in a nice clean card. This is clean. This should have been a 10. Super clean. All right, next up, another Riolu. PSA 9. All right, let's see. Another clean, well centered. Should have been a 10. All right. Next up, Fuecoco. Oh man, this was super clean when I sent it in. I was like, man, look at that centering. This centering right here should have been right on point. No, you see whiting right there. It's consistent. PSA, y'all got somebody who's handling these cards when they're taking them out of the semi-rigid. Y'all got to do better. Definitely do better. Look at all the 8s from modern cards. Who is handling these cards? Who?
Well, this stinks.
Majority of my 8s are Scarlet and Violet era. Somebody is mishandling them. I'm not gonna apologize for calling you guys out. I'm not sending in crap cards. Squirtle 151 in a 9. Should have been in 10. Look, another 8. I sent in 2 Pikachus. Both came back 8s. Why would I send? Look at the whiting. Whiting in that corner, big time. Whiting in that corner. I'm not sending it. These are packed fresh cards. They're not. All right. Leave in the comments what you all think about that whiting about PSA. I mean, look, PSA's tried and true. They grade hard vintage. I get that. Whatever it is, but PSA 10 Dragonair. This card was handled right, and I got a 10. See, all my cards were sent in clean. Just like that. I'm just gonna make a note of it. My cards were sent in clean, and I'm getting 8s for modern cards. Are you kidding me?
Because I don't want no scrubs.
All right, PSA 9. This was nice and clean, and it had no whiting. And okay, this is clean. But somehow I got a 9. This is one of those cuts that during the Sword and Shield era, they did them really nice and round, and they didn't have the little lip from some of the illustration rare versions. This is clean, but I got a 9. I'm not sure why I got a 9, but okay. Psyduck, this was super clean. This had no whiting in the back, and PSA 9. Yeah, no whiting. Whoops. Clean as can be. All right, next one. I'm sorry guys if it sounds like I'm too much, but Crown Zenith Deoxys V-Star in a 10. You know, I sent in nice clean cards to get graded. Very nice, well centered. I sent in deserving of 10 cards, nothing less. Oh my gosh, Gold Dingo. Very well centered, nice and clean, illustration rare. A little bit of whiting down there. Looks like it actually got kind of dinged when it got out of the semi-rigid. There's whiting up there. I pulled 2 of these clean, no whiting, but that one has whiting. All right, Darkrai V-Star Universe, very nice. Crown Zenith PSA 10. This one was the nice rounded cuts, so it's hard to damage when they're taken out. Whoops, that's a 9. All right, that's a 10. Next one, I sent in 2 Gardevoirs. These, let's see, PSA 9, and let's take a look at the back. It is well centered. It's nice. It's clean. Well centered in the front. PSA 9. Not sure why I got a 9. All right, Darkness Ablaze Charizard. Well centered in the front. PSA 9. In the back, it has the nice cut all the way around. 0 whiting and well centered, but it's a 9. All right, we got to do population control. We can't all have 10s. Let's see here, another 151 Mew promo, PSA 9, and a white speck down there, and a white speck up there. Okay, yep, I sent it in without white. All the promos that I sent in had no whiting, and I'm getting whiting. Oh, look, another 8, modern. Yep, whiting up there. There's whiting up there. There's signs of damage of whiting down here. I did not send in this card like that. PSA, I'm calling you guys out. Your handler's got to do better. PSA 9 SIR, very well centered. Very well centered all the way around. No whiting, but somehow I got a 9. It's well centered in the front. Oh, look, another 8. Ain't that beautiful? Let's see here. Damage in the white. Got whiting down there. I didn't send it in like that. Didn't send it in that way. I guess I'm going to have to pre-record all my cards, and then I'll call out your handlers. I will call out your handlers, PSA. I give you plenty of business. Very well, very clean. Nicely well centered. We'll just get a 9. Okay. PSA 10, Charizard. See, these cards from the Sword and Shield era, they're harder to damage because they have a different style of cutting. They're rounded and they have no lip that lifts up on the corners. No whiting, PSA 10, well deserved. Another PSA 10 Charizard. No whiting, well handled. It's just frustrating. Oh look, another PSA 9. And yeah, little signs of damage. Literally, there is signs of damage. I didn't send my cards like that. But Darkrai PSA 9. Oh, we can only give you 1 PSA 10. We can't give you 2. No, that wouldn't be fair. It's so well clean cut. There's no whiting. Well centered. All right, we'll give him a 9. Okay. All right. PSA 10 Entei Crown Zenith. Very nice. See, like the Charizard. The nice rounded cuts without a lip. I got a Raikou PSA 10. Nice and clean. Very nice. Another Entei PSA 10. Alright. Nice and clean. Very nice. Ah, here we go. Suicune. The more expensive of the 3. No. We can't have 10s. We got pop control. We can't have sequential PSA 10s. Because I was trying to get sequential. Let me take a look at the back here. Oh, you see there's whiting right there. See, I didn't send it in with whiting. I had 3 of these, and I sent the one with the cleanest, no whiting. But that one came back with whiting. Okay. All right, there you go. All right, vintage. Erica's Venusaur, Japanese Gym 2, Japanese Hollow. This one came back in an 8. This was really well centered. This did have the potential for PSA 10, but Pop Control says no. No, we're going to give you an 8. PSA 10 Charizard, well clean throughout. No signs of any whiting or damage. Okay, my second Goldango. No, we cannot get a 10. We're going to give you a 9. Why did we get a 9? Why did we get a 9? Nope, it's just, there's no whiting. This one came back a 9, well centered. All right, next up. Gimme Ghoul, okay, well centered. And, okay, there it is. There's more whiting right there. I hope y'all can see that. Right up there. That was not there when I sent it in. All right, thank you. I'll take a 9. Screwing up my cards. PSA 10, Jesse and James. Let's take a look here, making sure. Yep, very nice. All right, next up. Jesse and James, PSA 9. All right. Well centered. No damage. Okay. They all can't be winners. All right, we got a PSA 10, Jesse and James. All right. Next up. Oh, no. Let's give him an 8. Let's see, what do we have here? We have an 8. There is no whiting. Center is fine. I don't know why I got an 8. Okay. I got an 8. PSA 9. Okay. Again, no whiting. Centering looks good. Top, bottom, left, right. Yep, nope. I'll give him a 9. And my Brilliant Stars Sylveon V in a 10. This was one card I was hoping for a 10. Very nice. Okay. So as you can see, modern cards in an 8. I'm baffled. I didn't send in, just recapping. It's population control. Is what it looks like. I sent in very nice, clean, well-centered, no whiting on corner cards. They're all modern, with the exception of Erica's Venusaur. I will say I'm disappointed because I am going to call out the PSA quality control reviewers, whoever's handling the cards, whoever's cutting and taking them out of the sleeve. I don't know what you guys are doing, but I got a lot of whiting. I got a lot of questions, PSA. Why do I send in so many modern cards that are PSA 10 potential? All right, and I'm saying potential. I'm not sending in whiting. I'm not an 8, really? An 8. Look at the modern. 2 Pikachus, 2 of these with whiting. Why would I send in a card that I could just save my money and not grade and just sell it raw if there's a little bit of whiting? I wouldn't do that. I think a lot of graders can also agree with me. Guys, you have whiting on your cards, you're not going to send it in if it's modern to try to get an 8. You just sell it at raw price. That's what I do. But my cards are coming back with whiting. I don't send in white unless it's a vintage. Granted, my vintage, like my legendary collection, I do send in a lot of a vintage legendary collection of all conditions, right? Modern, I would never do that. Never. This is never. You know, honestly, I was hoping for at least an 80-20, 80% 10s and about 20% 9s. I was not anticipating any 8s with the exception of maybe the Erica's Venusaur, right? I'm like, it's vintage. Maybe I missed some hollow scratching or whatever. I am disappointed. I'm happy about my 10s. I anticipated that. This is way too many 9s. This is way too many 9s. This is way too many 8s. Population control. I think the word is out. We need to stop population control. Grade the card for what it is. That's it. If it deserves a 10, give it a damn 10. If it deserves a 9, give it a 9. It's frustrating. This is why a lot of people are leaving PSA and going to other brands. I like PSA. PSA is, in my opinion, still the gold standard, but your reviewers need to do better. This leaves a bad taste in my mouth right here. Look how many. Look how many. This is like half of my slabs right there for 9s on modern. This is way too many, with the exception of 1 for modern, and 8s. Do better. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the show. Give it a like, give it a thumbs up, subscribe down below. I'd love to read y'all's comments and see what your thoughts are. This was not my best. I definitely have submitted other cards where I've gathered 10s more so versus the 9s and the 8s. This is definitely very frustrating. I appreciate it if you stay to the end. Thank you. More footage of video uploads of this nature. I waited 3 months for this. 3 months for my cards to be mishandled. And I'm going to call you guys out, reviewers at PSA. If you work at PSA, you know you all mishandled my cards. This is disgusting. Alright guys, y'all, this is PokeStripVegas. We got some card shows that we're going to be traveling to. These cards are all going to be for sale. Next show is tomorrow. We have a 3-day show here in Las Vegas, the Las Vegas Card Show, August 16th and 17th. No, sorry. Yeah, 16th and 17th or 17th and 18th, something like that, is a front row card show. I'm going to be doing other shows coming up in Arizona, California. I'll be at the West Coast Card Show. Last weekend, we were in Sandy, Utah. We were at the Crossroads Card Show. That was very decent of a card show. A little bit of a drive from Vegas, but I did enjoy it. Phoenix, I am going to be seeing you guys at the Power Casino show coming up soon. Come on by and say hello. Give me a holler. I didn't show my face today. I apologize. I look like garbage, so y'all see my hands, my little fingers. Y'all have a good one, guys. I'll see you on the next time. Bye.